Do you know the name Dorothy Irene Height? She was a founding mother of the U.S. Civil Rights Movement. Dorothy made Herstory, working alongside Martin Luther King Jr. as a relentless desegregation activist.
I think I was born a feminist because I think all my life I've been proud to be a girl and to be a woman.
Long before the phrase was coined, Dorothy Height was practicing intersectional feminism. She asked women of all races, religions, and classes to understand one another and fight against sexism and racism together. This is Dorothy, and this is her story. In high school, Dorothy won an oratory contest. The prize, a 4-year college scholarship. She was admitted to the prestigious Barnard College. But stunningly, she was turned away after arriving at the dean's office in New York City. Barnard said it already had enough Negro students. A quota of just 2. Disheartened but not deterred, Dorothy went to New York University, where she was accepted on the spot with her sterling transcript. It seemed Dorothy Height was often in the right place at the right time. She had a chance meeting with Martin Luther King Jr. when he was 15 years old.
To sit at a dinner table with him and hear this young 15-year-old talk about whether he wanted to be a doctor, or whether he wanted to go into law, or whether he go into the ministry. I cannot say that I predicted anything, but I was certainly overcome.
While working at the Harlem YWCA, Dorothy met First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt and civil rights legend Mary McLeod Bethune on the same day. Mrs. Bethune urged Dorothy to join her organization. "We need you at the National Council of Negro Women," she said. "The freedom gates are half ajar. We must pry them fully open." Dorothy recalls that moment in her memoir, Open Wide the Freedom Gates, writing, "I have been committed to the calling ever since." In the 1960s, Martin Luther King Jr. enlisted Dorothy to help on major civil rights projects. As the only woman with a regular presence alongside his Big Six, she shared this thought in her memoir. "I was treated as a peer. There were times when the men disagreed with each other, and I could bridge the gap." Dorothy even helped plan the monumental 1963 March on Washington, where Dr. King gave his famous "I Have a Dream" speech.
"I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed."
With Dorothy Irene Height right next to him on stage.
All men are created equal.
But Dorothy knew there was someone missing from that moment.
Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
There had been appeals to include a woman speaker. In the end, Daisy Bates was the only woman to speak.
"That we will join hands with you as women of this country."
She had 1 minute on stage.
Dorothy Height, the National Council of Negro Women. We will sit in until we can eat in any corner in the United States.
After the march, Dorothy launched the only civil rights program led by National Women's Organization. It was called Wednesdays in Mississippi, which brought black and white women from northern cities into Mississippi to integrate civil rights actions during the 1964 Freedom Summer. Dorothy Height never married or had children. She did have a rich, nearly century-long career bending the arc of America's story toward justice. President Ronald Reagan honored her with the Citizens Medal Award in 1989. President Bill Clinton gave her Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1994. And Barnard College, that institution which turned her away 75 years earlier because of the color of her skin, gave her an honorary degree. Dorothy Height's legacy inspiring so many, including myself. I had a chance to meet her years ago. Dorothy Height died at the age of 98 in 2010.
She never cared about who got the credit. What she cared about was the cause, freedom's cause. May God bless Dr. Dorothy Height and the union that she made more perfect.